Hello and welcome to this instalment of Talkin Trim. I'm Jonathon Skinner and today we're looking at the Cockpit Rail Cappings for the Triumph TR2 to TR3B models. So that incorporates obviously the TR2s, the TR3s, the early and late TR3As as well as the TR3Bs. And what we've got here is a selection of cappings. Some of them are original ones that customers have sent to us, other ones are aftermarket versions because either the original ones are missing or they are too far gone that we've replaced them. Now it's worth checking the video link at the end of this video, as I've done in-depth videos a while back for the individual parts, like the door top cappings is one video, the quarter elbow cappings is another video, etc. Which goes into a lot more detail than I'm going to do in this video. It talks about the original materials and the changes in those from the factory over the years versus what you can get in the aftermarket, etc. So be sure to check those out. All I really want to do here is give you a nice overview of things and kind of showcase the work that we're doing. We're getting more and more people sending us parts from their cars, including the cappings from all over the world. In fact, the Biscuit kit here is from Germany. The tan, which is the brown colour, is from America. The Parchment's actually from the UK. But yeah, more and more people are sending us their cappings because they know from obviously our websites, our reputation and this YouTube channel that we offer a very good in-house trimming service, and people want to make sure that the kits that we supply are trimmed the correct way. And so obviously sending them to us is by far and away the easiest way to make sure that your parts are done correctly. But yeah, like I say, we've got three colours going through at the moment. We've got Biscuit, which is that sort of sand colour. We've got Parchment, which is the light cream, sort of off-white colour. And then we've got New Tan, which is that sort of light brown colour. And at the front of the car, we've got the Dash Top Scuttle cappings. Then we've got the door tops, got the quarter elbow cappings, and then the rear tonneau cappings at the back here. And I've laid out the aftermarket hardware alongside them to show you what is available as well. Just to quickly reference the book, we're talking about, obviously that's the Dash Top Scuttle capping there that runs from left to right on the dash of the car. Then you've got the door tops there above the doors, the quarter elbow cappings, you can't really see, you can just about make one out there. They go above the quarter panel there, often referred to as dog legs. And then the rear tonneau cappings, don't think we're going to see. No, it would be underneath this hood frame, top boot cover here, so that would be the left side. Then you get a centre one and then a right one there. Don't think, unfortunately. No, these are showing all the other cappings. Yeah. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Starting at the front, got the Dash Top Scuttle capping. Now this is actually the one item that there is no aftermarket hardware available, so you kind of have to use your original one. We are looking to get those made, so watch this space, but at the moment you cannot get them made. We've got the three colours. They effectively stayed the same between the era of manufacture, with very subtle differences related to fixing brackets and holes in them, etc. But in terms of the overall size and shape of them, they are essentially the same. It's worth noting this Biscuit one here has been tinkered with by the customer before he sent it to us. So he's made his bigger, as you can see on the underside there, but effectively they're meant to be all the same shape and size. Majority of the cars would have left with leather for the Dash Top Scuttle capping. Some would have left with vinyl, but most left with leather. This is an original one here from America, which we've trimmed. This is from the TR3. And yeah, they're a tricky part to trim and get looking neat, but our in-house trimmer knows what he's doing with these sorts of things. All three of these have been done in leather, so you've got tan, New Tan grained, and you got Parchment smooth, and then Biscuit light tan grained there. Most colours, if you check out our website, Materials and Colours Library, most colours are available in grained and smooth, so up to you. So that's the Dash Top Scuttle capping. Then we got the door tops. Now the door tops, what we got? We've got the tan is an original from a TR3. The Parchment is an original from a TR3A, and the Biscuit is an aftermarket version there. Now, the Parchment one, you'll notice we haven't fully finished. I just wanted to show you that's how they get finished with the chrome ends on them, and that one hasn't been done, which I'll come to in a second, whereas the TR3 had a completely different end. And then this is the aftermarket steel capping. Obviously they are handed, you get a left and a right, which we sell them separately. Now they have been made universal to fit all the cars, but originally they were different from one another, so just bear that in mind. They all now feature this kind of bottle top end to them, but originally they didn't all have that on there. I think that was a thing on the 3As, but like I say, see the video at the end, which goes into a lot more depth on these sort of things. So we can offer the steel aftermarket versions, which do fit all of the TR2s up to the 3Bs, but just note they were different on the earlier cars compared to originality, so you just have to make that kind of sacrifice. I say it's one of those things when everything's said and done in the car, you'd be hard pushed to actually notice the difference, but they were different. Then you get obviously this rubber core which sits in between the bottle top ends, or obviously just on the top of the TR2 3 spec ones there. And then we can also offer these chrome finishes on the end there, and obviously the material. So it's all effectively sold separately in that regard. Now, it's worth noting the ends, like I say, were done differently. The TR2s and TR3s, you're effectively gluing to the end of the rubber, but we actually make a small little panel that we put in there and trim, which makes it very neat and tidy on there, and a bit more substantial than just having the rubber on the end of them. But obviously if you're using an aftermarket version, you don't have to worry about it because it has the bottle top end, but then you have to obviously fill that in correctly. And again, I believe the video that I'm referring to at the end of this one does have a early car spec in terms of having this lever end to it, but using an aftermarket one, so that is possible, don't worry about it. I can talk you through that if you need any guidance. As per the Dash Top Scuttle capping, the majority of cars would have left with leather for the door tops as well, but some would have left with vinyl, or vinide strictly speaking, which is a leathercloth material. But most left with the majority of the cappings, a 5-piece capping set in leather. So 1 for the dash top, 2 for the doors, and another 2 for the quarter elbow cappings. The tonneau cappings at the back here were pretty much always vinyl / leathercloth, but you can do them in leather if you prefer. So yeah, they're the door tops. Then you got the quarter elbow cappings, or the dog legs as some people refer to them. Again, they did differ between the cars. So the TR2s and TR3s tended to be one style, and then the 3As another style here. Same principle again, we've got an original TR3 there, then we've got an original TR3, and that's perfect actually because you can see the differences there. So the TR3 had a groove down it, whereas the 3A didn't. And then the aftermarket, which is this Biscuit one, is fiberglass without a groove, so just bear that in mind again. But again, please do see the video at the end of this one, which goes into a lot more detail. They're a tricky piece to trim those, to try and get the correct amount of stretch and tension on them to make them look nice is quite hard, so bear that in mind. There are tips that you can do, and it's all about managing the priority areas, the areas that are going to be on show, and trying to hide some of the less neat parts in other areas, so bear that in mind. But as you can see, nice job overall with these. They are tricky, which is why people send them to us. So that's obviously those pieces there. As I mentioned before, majority of the cars, they would have been leather on those as well, but some cars would have left with vinyl or vinide. Then finally, we've got the rear tonneau cappings. So these are the bits that go around the car at the back of the car and are not often covered up by the hood frame or top boot cover. And these are aluminium. All of these are aftermarket ones because these are normally the things that get absolutely knackered. Originally they were aluminium, and we provide aftermarkets in aluminium, so they're pretty much like for like. We sell these like hotcakes, so you'll probably find you have to replace them, but it's no problem at all. They're literally like for like with the original spec stuff. Normally sort of vinyl, sometimes for maybe special orders they would have been leather. The ones we've got here, obviously the chap that's doing the Parchment kit hasn't ordered these from us, hence why they're not in the video. But the other two guys, the TR2 and the TR3A in Newtown and Biscuit, have gone for full leather on their versions there, trimmed all the way around. Now, because it's aluminium, they are soft metal, so you can still warp them into place during the fitment to your car, so don't worry about that. And these are obviously the aftermarkets that we supply. Yeah, so that's your lot, I think. Yeah, like I said, I didn't want to go into too much detail. Just wanted to give you a nice overview of what we can supply. Some of the little facts about originality and whatnot. But basically to really kind of showcase and encourage people to potentially send their cappings to us. People look at them and think, oh, that'll be fairly straightforward to do, but they're not. They are pretty tricky, and they are pretty prevalent in the car. They're very obvious in the car as well, so it is worth perhaps taking the time to get them done professionally, and obviously we would recommend that we do them. Then there are no excuses as such. They'll always turn out how they should turn out. We've seen some absolute horror stories, even from professional trimmers all over the world. In fact, this is one of the reasons that we started taking a bit of the trimming of these sorts of things in-house. And I started doing YouTube videos because I had a, well, discussion, shall we say, with a customer of ours over in Australia who we'd done a whole kit for. And his trimmer had done a very shoddy job on trimming the cappings. Now, the cappings were the original cappings, and all we had done is supplied materials to recover them, which happened to be leather, but we'd skived down the leather, we'd thinned down the leather effectively, which makes it easier to attain a better finish. It doesn't make them easier to trim, it makes it easier to attain a better finish, which is what we do as standard with any leather pieces that we deem appropriate to skive down. We will do. We've got an in-house leather skiving machine. Unlike anyone else in the industry, in this restoration industry. And yeah, he did a terrible job on the cappings and had the nerve to turn around and blame the kit. And I was like, we've literally supplied a rectangle of pre-cut material skived down. We couldn't have done much more for it. And this is one of the reasons, this was a few years ago now, this is one of the main reasons that, one, I set up the YouTube channel, and two, we started taking trimming in-house, because I was fed up of trimmers not doing their jobs properly and having the nerve to turn around and try and blame us. We're not like the rest of the companies out there. We actually take pride in our work. We've got a reputation to uphold and have done for almost 50 years now, which is why I do these videos. So I hope you can appreciate that. Yeah, like I say, nice overview there. Nice colours as well. So I thought I'd do a quick video just to showcase, but now I am simply rambling on, so I will end it there, I believe. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to like, subscribe and share with other classic car enthusiasts, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.